Hello everyone, my name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about Exhortation, written by George Saunders. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Now, in this work by George Saunders, we are introduced to this, this kind of like speech-like, threat-like memo that is very unnerving. Basically, we get this manager, this boss by the name of Todd, and he's like writing to his employees about their performance report, and he tells them that you guys need to work harder. That's basically what he tells them. He tells them that you guys need to work harder. Your numbers are not doing as well. My bosses are telling me that your numbers are not doing as well. He says that, if you're cleaning up a shelf, what's the best way to clean up the shelf? Should you do it in a happy way, in a happy mood, or in a sad mood? And he says, well, of course not. You're not going to do it in a sad mood. You're going to do it in a happy mood, the mood that makes you perform the job well. He says, yes, you might be discouraged or you might not be happy with the job that you have, but it's a job that you agreed to do, and you need to do it to the best of your ability. So exhortation is very unnerving for me. It keeps talking about this room 6 and what they have to do in room 6. It seems like something that is unnerving, something that, it's not really specified what job they're doing in exhortation. It's not really saying if it's grueling or if it's something horrific or if it's something that's going to shock us. It's telling the employees that's beneath him, Todd, this manager, this boss is telling his employees that you agreed to do this job, you're going to do it, and you better be happy and do it happily and do it in a very efficient manner, to the point where my bosses are happy, to the point where I'm happy. And he says, I don't care about your doubts. I don't care about, what you may think if this is wrong or right. We're not focused about wrong or right. He said I cash my paychecks whenever I get them. You cash your paychecks. You're doing this job for your wages, for whatever, peanuts we're paying you. You're doing it for that. You're not doing it to think. You're not doing it to doubt anything. So he basically tells his workers to do their job, even though it's not it's not fun, it's not fulfilling, it's not making them have better lives. The bottom line is that they're getting a paycheck at the end of the day, and they need to get it done. He talks about this whale that he placed. He removed the whale basically on the beach. And he says that it was hard to do, to get move of the whale. Because when you think about moving a whale from a beach, it's probably rotting, it's stinking, it's stinky, it's something that's hard. It's extremely hard to live. It's very difficult. Something that's going to challenge your mind and your body. And he says, through positive thinking, through having a happy mood about it, and using the right tools, of course, he and a few other people were able to put this whale on, they were able to remove it, basically. And he says it's through the power of positive thinking. It's like they weren't thinking negatively about it. They were thinking about getting it done and getting it done efficiently. So things like, it feels like a threat. Exaltation feels like a threat. It feels like if they don't get this job done, they're going to end up on the shelf. And let me show you. Let's speak to Google real quick. Hey Google, what does it mean to be placed on the shelf?
Wow. On the website idioms.thefreedictionary.com, they say, put on the shelf. To delay something or put it on hiatus. Once my wife became pregnant, I knew I had to put my plans of starting my own business on the shelf for a while.
Okay, Google. Turn volume to 90%. Okay, Google. Repeat.
Sure. On the website idioms.thefreedictionary.com, they say, put on the shelf. To delay something or put it on hiatus. Once my wife became pregnant, I knew I had to put my plans of starting my own business on the shelf for a while.
Okay, so I took that short pause to really give you guys a clear definition of what putting something on the shelf means. Because in exhortation, Todd talks about putting employees on the shelf. And from that example that Google gives, it's kind of like, taking something out of line, or pretty much taking workers out of line. Or you can even think of putting something on the shelf as putting it to rest, or even getting fired. And he talks about you can be replaced, and specifically the way that Todd uses putting something on the shelf in this work is in the idea that you're going to be fired if you don't do your job successfully. You're going to be put away if you don't do your job successfully. And the next guy we're going to hire is going to do your job happier than you did because of the fact that he's getting a paycheck. Exhortation is one of the most, within the George Saunders collection, for me, it's kind of terrifying because I really don't know what job they're doing. And it seems like it's a job that's very questionable, probably a job that morally challenges the workers that are working for Todd. In terms of deeper meaning, in terms of analysis here, I think you have to take a look at our own society. I think a lot of people have jobs that they don't necessarily love, that they don't necessarily support, but at the end of the day, they need to feed themselves. They need to put food on the table for their families. They need to pay for their place to sleep, for their place to stay. So for a lot of people around the world, you got to do what you got to do to survive. And we can get from exhortation that the workers that are working here, they are not getting paid very well, and they're doing something that's probably highly questionable and or morally not just, because it's not telling us what it is, but it's telling us clean the shelves, clean the shelves, clean the shelves. Do it happily. Don't think about it. Just do it. And whenever somebody tells you don't think about it, just do it, just get it done, you know it's something that is not, I guess, it's probably something that's very dark. So that's exhortation. If we tone it down a little bit and let's say, how does it relate to your life or my life? I think a lot of people are stuck to their desk all day in many types of jobs around the world. You're probably not the most happiest when you're at work, but you just got to do your job. And it's not just a matter of doing your job just because, but to your bosses, to the people who are above you, you have to do your job to the point where it's more than satisfactory. It's something that they can hold up and say, oh, this is amazing work. So no matter how low they're paying you, even if they're paying you peanuts, you have to work hard. Those are all my views on exhortation. That's a tongue twister for me. Those are my views on this short story by George Saunders, and what's in it. George Saunders' works, they can be so complex, and even his short stories can contain so much layers. But that's just something to get you guys going and really understand where this short story is directing us, and probably what's under the surface, because it's a very disturbing memo to get from your boss, from someone who's higher up than you. But that's everything I have to say. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in my next video.